Welcome to the Intermediate Android mini-series. What we're going to be doing is developing and working with remote databases. We're going to create a simple application that will allow us to log in using some PHP scripts. So we're going to be interacting with a remote database and a remote server to check with some PHP scripts, parse some JSON data, and all this cool stuff. So it's going to be about 6 tutorials. I have everything written out. All I'm doing now is making the video tutorials. Alright, so let's play that pump up music, brah. Welcome guys. It's been a while since I made some Android tutorials, just strictly Android. Been working on the Ant Engine a little bit, but I apologize for that. It's good to come back to the Android stuff. I got somewhat of a broner going on right now because I'm pretty excited to do this mini-series. As you can see from the title of this video, this is just going to be a quick overview of what we're going to be developing, how things work together, PHP, JSON, Android, how that all works together, how we can communicate with different things, and what we need to set this up. And I have developed all of the tutorials written out. This takes the longest part when I make a tutorial, so I definitely would appreciate it if you guys like this, share it, and that helps me out and encourages me to make better quality tutorials, spend a little bit more time on them. But this is just going to be a quick overview of what we're going to be developing. As you can see over here, pretty simple application, and actually a lot of the code comes from this Jokester app that the community has been, or the project has been developing. So you guys can thank everyone working on that. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully that should be released soon. I'm still working out some stuff with Google. So what we need for this application is a database. We're going to be using MySQL database. For that, we also need some PHP scripts, which will do our validation and be checking if you know, the user is registered already and if the passwords match up, all of that stuff. And also JSON data, which looks a little bizarre. Let me see if I can pull up what this is parsing. So this is JSON data. So what happens is when we load up this activity, for example, it's going to call our web service this PHP script, and it's going to be like, hey, get all of the current comments within your database or your MySQL database and spit it out in some kind of language that I can parse or read. And the language that we're using is, or it's not really a language, it's just kind of a mock-up, but it's called JSON. So we're going to be parsing JSON data, and all of this is JSON here. As you can see, we just have some different elements, like a success message is one. Our message says, yeah, there is posts available, and then it gets more specific, being like, hey, here are our posts. I'll just list them all for you. Post ID number 1, username, title, you know, all this stuff that we need within brackets. We'll get into the details later. I just kind of want to show you an overview of what's going on. So we send this information back to our Android application. So obviously we need internet access within our Android application. Then we parse that data into a list view and display everything nice and neatly for sure. So it's just pretty simple. We could click on each one of these elements and do something specific. This mini-series won't handle that. It's just more of the basics, just creating that login and registration script, and posting a comment. So we could post something. So we could post a comment here, and let's just test this out. So we submit it, and what that's going to do is it's going to update our MySQL database. Again, this is on a server somewhere, not within our Android phone or device or anything. So anyone that uses this application can update the same database, all that stuff. So it'd be good for like a high scoring system or whatever. If you had a game, and as you can see, here's our comment. It's kind of in a weird order, but here is the comment we just left, and if we go back to our script here, it's the second to last one. Let's double check this. We'll reload this, and as you can see, here's our new comment with the highest post ID. All that stuff is returned to us. It's pretty awesome. So that's kind of how it works. Again, if we wanted to, we could go into our database and see the visual of that. Again, this is an overview. We're going to be setting up all of this stuff here within 6 short tutorials. So hopefully you guys are excited about it. Working with remote databases has been one of my most requested tutorials, so I'm glad I finally had the time to actually develop this out and create the tutorial. And I'll make sure I get all these tutorials done by the end of this week. I have all of them written out. I just have to make the videos, and that kind of depends on how much time I have. So as you can see, here's our MySQL database, and we got this stuff going on. We got our new comment, but again, this could be anything. If we create a game, this could be a high score table with the highest scores and the username, and then we could display that within the high score column, and that way everyone playing our game has the same high score table that they interact with, instead of just using a local database on the user's phone and they're only competing against themselves. So there's a lot of cool stuff we can do. So hopefully that gives you a nice overview of what this mini series is going to hold. Again, it's within our Android mini series. And again, if you guys are on our site in the future, obviously if you go to mybringback.com, it'll be some of the first tutorials on the list. But otherwise, you can just go to our courses, Android Intermediate course, and I think it's about it'll be the 17th tutorial is where we start. Even though we're starting a brand new project within Eclipse and all that stuff, it will be like about the 17th tutorial, somewhere there. So thanks again, guys, and we will catch you soon. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share on Facebook, Twitter, and snail mail. Send it to your grandma. It's going to be an awesome time. So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks, guys.